time to wake up, America. With Trump's announcement last night and BRICS since 2009 working to de-dollarize and tons of countries wanting to join BRICS, our whole system is going to be completely different the next 100 years. Now, there's a silver lining to this. If you pay attention, as they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. And if you're able to pay attention, because you're paying for your attention, you could radically transform your family's life. Trump's announcement last night, it was a long, drawn out announcement, but basically, I'm going to explain it at this level. What's happening is we are breaking apart from the traditional centralized banking system. The things that they talked about, actually, let me grab my notes here, and then I'm going to jump into some really big things that are happening. Okay, check this out. So this is really important. You guys need to study BRICS. Very, very important. Okay, here's my notes yesterday from the announcement. Okay, Trump keeps talking about being the crypto capital of the world. Trump said he has there's a hostile administration towards crypto, right? He said if we don't do it, China will. Okay. If we don't do it, other countries will do it, which they already are. And he's talking about cryptocurrency, specifically mining. He said he completely believes in it. This is interesting. So it's a fledgling compared to what it will be, what we've been talking about. Crypto is your new financial system, family. Okay. Why it's important for America to get into crypto? They asked him that question. To be dominant in AI. Okay. You have to be dominating crypto as well. I'm paraphrasing that. AI cannot operate without cryptocurrency. He said, do you think it's important to have a legal framework? Yes. He said, we do, but the SEC that we currently have is extremely hostile. Now I'm paraphrasing his answers to the question. He says, we have to be the top in number one in crypto, whether we like it or not. Decentralized finance is the future. Working to democratize finance. And we're starting a financial revolution. The vision of the project, which is the DeFi project that they announced last night. So basically, and I'll explain what that means. And then I'm going to go into something that you guys need to pay attention to. With Turkey, the country of Turkey is working to join BRICS, guys. Do you realize how much resources Turkey has? China and Turkey are massive in resources. So the vision of the project, the goal is to give people financial freedom and to give people an access or assets that they can control, to bring liquidity into the crypto space or the crypto ecosystem or sphere, making decentralized finance easy because it can be very confusing, giving people access to credit. You see what's happening, and the Trump specifically talked about some of the Trump sons talked about how they were debanked because of when they went into politics, right? They could go into a bank, pick up the phone, talk to a banker, and boom, they can get a loan. But as soon as they went into politics, which is key, politics, they got debanked. They said, if you believe that banks will look the same in 25 years, you missed the mark. So here's what's happening, guys. If you can't beat them, join them. Your banks are going to be joining this revolution. Why do you think JP Morgan created Onyx, JPM coin? They're preparing for this moment, guys. Why do you think Wells Fargo's with R3? Why do you think Ripple is in Bank of America's patent? And why do you think that the SEC held this case for 4 years, guys? For 4 years. The reason why is because America got caught with no swim trunks on when the tide went out, as Warren Buffett says. We got sloppy. We had too much of a good thing, and you're seeing it now. What's done in darkness comes to light. The financial system is being exposed every single day. It cannot continue the way it is. And there's this opportunity. That's why they're suing and making crypto look so horrible, even though they know it's going to be part of the financial system, which I'm going to break down a little bit further. They knew it was going to be part of the financial system. They knew this was coming. There's very smart people doing this, guys. They knew that if you print money at low interest rates for a long enough period of time, the Ponzi scheme is up. There's no money in the system. We have to go back to an asset-backed currency. We have to get liquidity running through the system. There's a liquidity crisis. It has to. What can solve it? Bitcoin in the treasury, XRP, XLM, faster payments. Yes, those are solves for this financial system. A new decentralized infrastructure where you can build applications. They know that we are about to go decentralized, or we have the opportunity, like the announcement they made last night with their decentralized financial system is that they could pop up their own financial system. They can do it, and they're doing it. So the banks, remember, if you can't beat them, join them. So they're trying to slow down the process. So you'll see a lot of FUD, which is going to make you feel like it's not something that's going to be here, and it's going to be the greatest missed opportunity. So this is the next part that I want to share with you guys. September 10th, 2024 says spook the West. Turkey's bid for BRICS, both a strategic and symbolic step, analysts say. Turkey, an important geopolitical player and a member of NATO, has made increasing strides in its influence and leverage on the global stage. BRIC is seen by some of the symbolic counterweights to the Western-led organizations led by the EU, the G7, and NATO. Although it lacks formal structure, enforcement mechanisms, and uniform rules of standard. Despite its decades of being aligned with Europe and the US, check this out, Turkey has faced constant rejection from joining the EU, which has long been a sore spot for Ankara. Turkey's request to join BRICS alliances is a move seen both as a strategic and symbolic, as Xrparmy, I can't pronounce that, country of 85 million, you're my dyslexia, sorry. 85 million makes increasing strides in its influence and leverage on global stage. Our president has already expressed multiple times that we wish to become a member of BRICS. So Turkey wants to become a member of BRICS, guys. Do you realize how many resources that will take away? China and Turkey have so many resources. This is such a pivotal moment in America's history, guys. Do you realize this is what they'll be reading about in history books, or if they don't manipulate it, but this will be the historical, we're part of that timeline. How would a new BRICS currency affect the US dollar? Okay, this has been going on for a long time. The BRICS nations are interested in creating a new currency to compete with the US dollar and recently announced plans for blockchain-based payment systems. Learn about they talk about the developments, okay? So that's part of it. But I want to share with you this really cool video. It's kind of a cute video, actually. But I want to play this video for you because I want you to understand how important this BRICS revolution is. Okay, then I'm going to share with you two parallels that I'm going to keep bringing up. And I'd love to hear your comments down below. I love to hear your guys' commentary because all the commentary, I mean, I'm just doing the best I can with the research I have. And I love to hear the comments down below, especially on Twitter. Even if it's opposition, we need to learn together and grow together. So watch the first part of this video. It gives you a good description of BRICS.
BRICS is the first serious challenge to the Western-led financial order since the end of World War II. But what is BRICS really? And how does it compare to NATO? What would happen if the two organizations were to come to blows? First, it's important to understand that BRICS is not a military alliance. Rather, it's an economic partnership that was initially established to seek out investment opportunities for its members in less developed areas of the world. At least that's the official, sanitized story. The truth is, BRICS was created to directly challenge the Western economic order and try to wrestle the world away from the American dollar. As the global reserve currency, the dollar gives the United States significant geopolitical and economic power, and the currency has underpinned international trade since the Second World War. Ironically enough, BRICS got its start in the middle of America's financial heart, New York City. In 2006, foreign ministers from Brazil, Russia, India, and China, hence the name BRICS, met on the sidelines of a general debate at the UN Assembly. These early meetings laid out the framework for a new global investment bank to rival the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. This new bank, known as the New Development Bank or just BRICS Bank, would promote infrastructure development and economic growth, especially in developing economies, and help limit the influence of Western financial institutions. This was immediately appealing to members like China and Russia, who were all too aware of the massive economic pressure that could be leveled against them by the current global order.
Okay, I want to leave you right there. I'd recommend you go watch the rest of this video. Okay, now check this out. So what has happened since then? Okay, so we had Bitcoin was created. Oh, let me switch this. On January 9th, 2009. BRICS was created on June 16th, 2009. Okay, so really interesting. Okay, this is the part that I'm just trying to wrap my head around. Satoshi Nakamoto creates Bitcoin in 2009, January. BRICS comes together in June 2009, and their mission is to de-dollarize from the American dollar. Since then, there's been a pivotal change. So think about that. After the 2008 financial collapse, other countries are like, wait a minute, dude. You guys are weaponizing us with this dollar. You can put sanctions on us. Now, we hadn't fully put sanctions on them yet. And then we come into 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. And what did Biden do? The first thing he did, boom, took him off the SWIFT system. First thing, financial sanctions. Then in 2020, don't quote me, I think it was beginning of 2024, 2023, 2024, as we're collapsing, he throws a ton more sanctions on Russia. And Russia's like, F this. They went to work with the yuan with China, so they're teaming up with China. They went from 70% use of the American dollar down to 20% during the Tucker Carlson and Putin interview, and it's rumored that they're using hardly any. Okay, now Turkey, that has tons of resources, guys, tons of natural resources, wants to join BRICS. That is going to devastate America. So what was happening right now? Why do you think? Wake up. Why do you think Larry Fink is like, whoa, wait a minute? In 2023, he can see the future. He is the largest asset manager in the world, guys. You saw. I think I showed you the letter from our government going against BlackRock because they're investing in foreign war countries, right? Guys, this is a global thing happening right now. America is transitioning into no longer being the dominant currency. It doesn't mean the American dollar is going to collapse. What I think is going to happen, this is where we go into my opinion. You got to do your own research. This is just based on our 8 to 9 hours a day of research and going all in on this and trying to understand what we believe is going to happen. Okay. I don't trust, this is me personally. Like, think about the stock market and companies. Okay. They're propped up with a bunch of fake money, guys. That's a fact. Most of the companies on the S&P, it's all fake money. It's all printed money, right? Junk bonds and all this stuff. Like, think about this really quickly. What happened in 2008? BlackRock was tapped to balance out the markets in 2008 by the Federal Reserve, and in 2020 to balance out the markets by the Federal Reserve. What they did is they package up junk bonds and they sell it to us. What blockchain does is, guess what? We'll be able to see what's actually inside of that package that they sell us. That's why they don't want it. That's why they don't want us to have a decentralized system. But that cannot stop. It's coming, guys. So what's going to happen is, I truly believe, and I'm okay saying this because if I come back to the video and I'm okay, this is what I believe is going to happen. I could be wrong. But I think that Bitcoin was created for some reason because they can anticipate what was about to happen. And Bitcoin is going to get pulled underneath the treasury. And most governments are accumulating Bitcoin right now because they know it'll only be mined for another 116 years. Isn't it ironic that financial systems last about 80 to 100 years of fiat systems? And this one lasts 116 years. So they're going to pull it underneath the treasury because the Ponzi scheme is over. That's going to shrink the balance sheet because Bitcoin's going to continue to go up dramatically, and that's going to shrink the balance sheet. It's going to start to create an even playing field, an even monetary system. Money is going to move at the speed of light, and they're going to regulate currencies with a bag of currencies versus one dominant currency. And then we're going to be more on an even playing field. And it's going to be, are you good at what you fucking do or not? Are you good at what you do or not? Because it's going to be clear. It's going to be transparent. Do you either make great products or do you not? Right? And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing that I am worried about is October, the beginning of October, the 1st through the 5th, is, I think there's going to be some wild stuff happening, guys. And I feel that because of this announcement of Trump and the 2 attempted assassinations and all this stuff, I just think you should buckle up the next 50 days because the next is World War III, right? Ray Dalio predicts it perfectly. World War III is next, guys. Because it's all financial. We know that. So if this is the state of the financial system and Turkey is now wanting to join BRICS and we're losing grip. So imagine if you're sliding down a mountain, they're grabbing onto anything they can. And the last resort is creating a common enemy, guys. Think about that for just a moment. I won't go too deep into that part of it. But above all that, if you can pull yourself to a 30,000-foot overview, and understand that the system will continue to repeat itself and cycle the same thing over and over again. Jesus came back on a donkey after 18 years and flipped over the money changers. He said, you made my synagogue a den of thieves. And everything he was talking about from a consciousness level. But it's the same stuff over and over and over again. That was 2,000 years ago. And this repeats every 2,000 years. There's this new thing. And Jesus predicted this time is coming. Said a man with a pitcher is coming. All darkness is coming to light. I think P. Diddy just got arrested yesterday, guys. All the darkness is coming to light. So the key right now for me and my family is really getting deeper with our relationship with God. Relationship, not religion for me, it's relationship, and following the life of Christ Jesus, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. Getting into that higher level of consciousness, being grateful, authenticity, and true unconditional love for everybody in humanity. So what I share with you guys, exactly what I do every single time. This isn't what you should do. This is what I've done, and it works well for me, because that's the key, guys, is you should figure out what works for you. This works for me. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel safe. And it's helped me because it's something that feels good for me. Stock market might be what you need. Crypto might be what you need. I use insurance. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe it's real estate. But what makes you feel good? Not just throwing your money into, an HR director and hoping that you can retire. It's about understanding and having a plan. So for my plan and my family, what we do is we use the risk pyramid. It works. We stick with it. We put our blinders on. I don't listen to any naysayers because it's working for me. I use high risk, high return. We're about to go into a bull run. Okay, I've been accumulating from 2022 all the way from 2020 all the way to 2024, but I took some out in the bull run last time. Some people like to keep their crypto in. I like to pull at least 50% because I like to get it out of the markets. I like to diversify across different platforms. So I'm going to pull from 2024. I'm going to pull Bitcoin. I'm not touching. We already know that narrative. Bitcoin's holding forever. Okay, I'll borrow against that asset. 50% of my alternative coins I will exit on the way up as it comes in at certain target points. Then I'm going to pull it down the risk pyramid. I use insurance. I use Index Universal Life. I have policies waiting to max fund, ready to go for this bull run. That's what I use because I like to secure my principal. When everything comes collapsing down, my principal is guaranteed. It's insured. Number two is I can borrow against the cash value. I have access to it. I don't like people keeping my money hostage. And number three is I like tax code 77028 so I can borrow against it tax free. Okay, when you borrow loans, like if I borrow against Bitcoin in the future, that's tax free. That's how you start to build wealth. Okay, I'll allow those to sit. Use those as my strategies. I'm going to continue to. Business is the greatest way to wealth. I mean, it's the greatest. That's one of the increase your income as much as you want or decrease it. It's very, there's high risk to it as well. And then precious metals, silver, and I'm using Bitcoin as my gold. People push back on that, but that's what I'm doing. I feel very comfortable with Bitcoin now based on my research and what I think is going to happen. I'm accumulating as much as I can. And then we're going into real estate, multifamily. I'm not an expert in that, so I'm building an expert team to help me with I'm more worried about the taxes, the tax benefits, and the long-term strategy on it. I'm not worried about making money off the doors. I can make a lot more money in business, and that's the key. So I think the only ways truly to build wealth is either catching a boom and bust cycle like this, or having a long, you're in it 30 to 40 years and you're disciplined if you're investing, if you're in a job, or starting businesses, guys. That's one of the biggest ways. And I think there's just a special time right now in cryptocurrency because we're going to have a big boom where you're, from 2020 to 2022, I probably made more than I would have made in my retirement as an executive. It was wild, right? Now, is that guaranteed? No. But does it follow a cycle? Yes. And does history rhyme? Absolutely. So that's what we're doing over here. Again, just not scare tactics. These are prepare tactics. This shit's happening, guys. And I'm okay with the judgment and the comments here because go back to my videos in 2020, guys. It's all come true. There's only one thing that didn't come true. One of them is where I said where you have more lockdowns. And who knows? That was one thing that I got incorrect. But I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just studying history to predict the future. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you need any support at all, I want to make this very, very clear. There's a lot of scammers out there, and I hate that I have to do this on every video, but I think it's important. Any influencer you're following, they're not going to proactively DM you and ask about your crypto. There's so many scammers out there, okay, faking our profiles. I'll never ask about your crypto. I do not invest people's crypto. I do not have a trading platform. That is not me communicating with you. I'll never proactively DM you. I'll never ask about your crypto. I'll never ask you to send me money. Ever. Okay, what we do have is if you go in the description of my video, fill out a needs assessment. Hundreds of people email me about my insurance, okay, my insurance. So what I did is I built how I insure my wealth. So I built a needs assessment that you fill out, okay, and it's based on your needs. It's doing what I do is what's good works for me, but we need to figure out what's good for you based on where you're at. Do you have a retirement strategy? So fill out the needs assessment. I'll have a team member reach out to you. They'll text you, they'll call you, they'll email you. You'll never send them money. It's a free consultation. So please be careful with those scammers out there. So needs assessment, it is in the description of this video. Click the description, or if you go on my social media platform, just click that little blue link and boom, it'll be right there. I love you guys. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.